Whoops. That's my opener. I do not like phones that much at all. My topic's over banning use of phones in school. And over my research, I found out that that's not a totally good option. There's other options that are actually better, but we'll get through that. My experience with phones, and everyone else has this too, we've grown up with smartphones and flip phones. Not that one. But we kind of grew up in the age that we all use phones for everything. It used to just be used for communication, but it's kind of spiraled, not out of control, but it's gotten very many uses. But my overall research project was over the problem, the cause, and the solution to phones in school. There's a few causes. One cause is just no restrictions at all on phone use. There's rules that are not enforced, especially here. You can use them during pass period and during lunch, and at the teacher's discretion. That's not really enforced as much, but that's another issue we're going to get into later. There's one source explains the narrow spectrum of addiction. So there's only a very few areas you can actually make friends off of using your phone. Yeah, you can talk to as many people as you want, but the actual interaction face-to-face is not there. Another thing is cyberbullying or just cheating. That's another problem with phones, especially here. There's some bullying on phones and whatnot. It's not as high as it used to be, but it's still there. And then cheating, that's a big no-no, but we still do it anyway, especially taking pictures of tests or whatnot. Pretty sure that happened last year. No, I wasn't in that class. But those are just two problems of phones in school, plus they're distracting. A big problem is them going off in class. So if you put them up in a phone pocket and it starts ringing, that's not just embarrassing, but that just, especially if you have a really bad ringtone. That's a story for another day. That happened to me. But Allison Klein, she states the cyberbullying problem, and then Kevin Thomas, a professor, says they're distracting even with Snapchats. Causes. The causes are just the restrictions aren't enforced. Allison Klein said that they've transformed the way we communicate. So we bring in phones into our life so far that we just have them ourselves the whole time, either talking to someone or playing a game. Mainly just talking to people in many forms. So Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. I don't do it on Facebook. Screw that. And just simply text messaging. I don't text per se anymore, and I don't know a lot of people that actually talk on the phone. Most high schools I see just Snapchat. Is that the right verbiage? They snap. There you go. They snap. But I usually never see people on the phone talking. That's just one cause of it. Another cause is once again, it's a technological addiction. If you have it if you just sit in front of it every day, the chances of you just putting it down is very slim, especially if it's taken from you. I've seen people throw some fits with their phone taken away, especially here with high schoolers. I think some of us are 18, I hope, if you're in this class. And we throw fits over losing our phone. I find it kind of funny because we don't even pay for our phones really. Our parents do, so we don't really have a say in what we do with our phone or if it's taken. Those are just some causes. Solutions, like I said, I thought of a full ban on phones, but from my research, full bans are not effective. There was one site by, I believe, Allison Klein. There was a bunch of schools that tried a full ban, but there was no way to enforce it really. And then you have parents say, well, how are we supposed to communicate with our children? You can always call the front office, but if it's a really big emergency, you have to contact your kid. And then that just causes a whole bunch of problems with administration and whatnot. But there's already limits in place, and the solution is just actually enforcing them. Like, they're only allowed in passing period and lunch and at teacher's discretion. It's just simply enforcing it. That is the solution. But once again, that's hard enough as is. So a full ban, like I wanted in the first place, was not useful. That's why I got out this research. Phones are needed for our century, or just even the future, and we can't go without them, without just fully breaking down. I think what I want you guys to take out of this, phones aren't all we need in life. I put down my phone for a day and I felt great. It's not sure why. I think I was just on Snapchat a lot, looking at memes. I think getting out of my life was really good. And then just annoying people on Snapchat, posting stories depressing stuff like, I miss you, babe. I'm like, I don't really care. I didn't ask. But that's just out of my life. It makes me feel really good. And instead of you looking at your screen all the time, plus my neck, it really, just looking down the whole time, it's not good for your posture either, so I just avoid that. But, like I said, overall, I just want you guys to realize that phones aren't everything, and just put them down so you don't cheat or bully people on phones. Nowadays, I see people just bullying people in person, which it's not a better thing, but it's better than doing it on the phone. But in conclusion, problems with phones, they're addicting. They cause problems in classrooms and whatnot. Causes, there's no restrictions, or at least there are restrictions, but they're not enforced. And the solutions are just enforcing those restrictions. Thank you.